Morning on the Lake, written by Jan Bordeaux Wabus. Morning. Morning is calling. It is time. I hear my grandfather's slow, quiet voice in the distance. There is no need for him to say it again. I jump out of bed, rub the sleep from my eyes, and pull on my t-shirt and pants. As I run to the lake where he stands waiting, I see his large silhouette against the pink morning sky. He is staring out at the cool, calm water. Morning mists look like a gray blanket covering the lake. The sun is a big orange ball hiding behind the trees. I imagine it being pulled up by spiders' strings. I am ready, Mushamish. I yawn between the words and cover my mouth with my hand. I must be wide awake this morning. Grandfather turns to me and smiles. He is wearing his favorite old straw hat. It has a feather of a hawk stuck in the band. I found it for him when we were walking through the bush. On his feet are moccasins, plain moccasins. No beads, no fur, no quills. He made them himself from moose hide. He made me a pair too, just like his. Grandfather looks down at my feet, so I look down. I wiggle my bare toes. Grandfather slowly shakes his head from side to side. Then he grins, and I grin too. Come, Notion, he says in his gentle voice. He motions to the water's edge. His birch bark canoe was waiting there for us. Long ago, when I was little, I watched Grandfather make his canoe. He told me that when I get bigger, I would make one just like his. I will, too. Grandfather stretches out his steady, strong arm. I hold onto it and climb into the canoe. It feels wobbly, so I sit very still. We begin to drift away from shore. Because I am in the front looking out, I cannot see my grandfather's face, but I know that he is smiling. I hear the dip of his paddle on the water and imagine many tiny bubbles trailing behind us on the glassy surface. I watch my reflection on the water as we glide. It is still in the early morning. There is no wind, and it feels cool and damp. Everything is silent, except for the sound of the paddle. Grandfather stops the canoe in the center of the lake. He does not speak. This is his special place. Morning is his favorite time, and so it is mine. We wait, we listen. We peer into thin vapors lifting from the lake. It is so very quiet that I am afraid to breathe, for I do not want to disturb the tranquil wilderness that encircles us. Then we hear it. A low, mellow, haunting hoot echoing across the water. And then another call, and another. I shiver, but I am not cold. Mishomis, did you hear that? I try to whisper, but I am not quiet enough. I see Grandfather raise his finger to his lips and then point. And I know that I must not speak again, but I cannot hold back my gasp. There in front of us are 4 loons, a father and a mother with 2 fluffy gray babies on their back. The male loon moves closer to the canoe. He is not afraid. I wonder if I should be. I can see the loon's white striped necklace. His tiny black beak is decorated with white squares and dots. The loon is looking straight at Grandfather with his small red eyes. He stretches his silken neck up and then strikes his strong wings on the surface of the water. I feel the spray wet my shirt. I do not move as I watch the loon circle our canoe in a dance. Then, giving a sudden wild yodel, he dives with a powerful force. My heart is pounding. I want to speak, but I dare not. I know the loon has reminded us that the northern lake is his home. Grandfather has told me that our ancestors had given our people many stories of the great loon. This morning on the lake is our story. I squint to catch a last glimpse of the family, but they have vanished, gone as quickly as they appeared. The morning is no longer serene and still. Birds chirp their morning songs across the lake. I sense the animals stirring on the shore. The mist is gone. The sun, full and warm, shines bright above the trees. The wind ripples the water. The leaves sway gently in the scented breeze. I feel that it would be all right to speak now, but I have silence on my tongue. No sound comes from the back of the canoe. I turn around to see Grandfather. He is smiling. I glance at my own reflection on the water, and I am smiling too, just like Grandfather. Noon. Grandfather is looking up. I know he is searching the sky. Grandfather is wise and knows many things. He says I will too. When, Mishomis? I ask. In time, he answers. Wisdom will come. I stand beside Grandfather. I look up and search too. The sun is low on the horizon. I feel the wind's wings warm on my arms and legs. Grandfather speaks softly. It is time. We will go. I want to jump up and down and make a lot of noise, but I do not. For where we are going, only silence is needed. We leave before the sun climbs to the center of the sky. I follow Grandfather like a shadow. Quickly, quietly, he moves like a fox over the familiar path of the forest floor. I know that many animals have made this trail as they walked beneath the ancient white pines that whisper and past the singing water of the river. But I don't see any of them today, only Grandfather ahead of me. I try to stay close behind, but it is not easy keeping up with his strong, silent strides. I stop a moment to taste a plum purple berry from a saskatoon bush and then hurry on. I am hot and thirsty. There are beads of sweat on my nose. I am getting tired, but I do not slow down. Finally, Grandfather stops. We are almost there. Almost. He turns to me and smiles. You travel swiftly with soft steps. That is good. Now you must show strength as well. He points to a rocky cliff and then tousles my hair with his long fingers. His dark brown eyes are bright and catch the sun's reflection. Are you ready, Nishon? I wipe the sweat from my nose, take a deep breath, and nod. I am, Nishomis. Before we begin our climb, I watch my grandfather's strong brown arms reach out and spread open to the turquoise sky, so I stretch my arms high. Grandfather looks at me and nods. As I climb, I can feel each rough groove etched in the face of the cliff. Its surface is hot and dry under my sweaty palms. My fingers are red and tingling, and I feel the hard ridges of rock pressing against my bare knees. The cliff is steep, so I avoid looking down. Although I am not afraid, I am tiring. I keep up with Grandfather, but my legs feel as heavy as rocks. I cannot let this slow me, for I know that many ancestors have climbed here before me, and before Grandfather too. I imagine each foothold formed through time by their steps. Finally, we reach the top. The sun is high. It is very still and quiet. I can look back now, but as I turn, I notice a large shadow cast down on the ground. I quickly look up but cannot see what has made the shadow. Instead, I see thin birch trees waving in the soft breeze. It is strange because I cannot hear the leaves rustling. Neither can I feel the wind cooling my skin or smell the dry moss under my moccasins. Up here, I stand closer to the noon sun, yet I do not feel the heat, nor do I have to shield my eyes from its brightness. Grandfather sits down and motions for me to sit beside him. I do. He does not speak. Neither will I. This is his special place. Noon is his favorite time, and so it is mine. We look out over the fast-flowing river and the thick green forest below. I can see with bird's eyes. I feel that I am soaring, touching the endless sky, floating through powder-white clouds, flying free, high above our world. Very still, we wait. Perched on top of our rocky nest, I can hear my own breathing. It is loud. I cannot hear Grandfather's. I wonder if he is holding his breath. I want to look at him, take one quick peep, but then I see a powerful bird in slow motion, alone and gliding. In silence he moves with smooth, graceful strokes. Around and around he circles us with his wings reaching like mother's arms. Motionless we watch. The great eagle. Suddenly the eagle is looking at me. He is coming in my direction. Faster and closer he flies. I do not move, not one part of my body. Oh, how I want to hold on to grandfather, but I do not. My heart is pounding like the beat of the drum. And then the eagle swoops down. I can hear the rapid rhythm of strong wings. I want to squeeze my eyes shut, but I keep them open, watching. He is here. His scent fills my nostrils. I feel talons combing through my hair with a gentleness I cannot explain. Then he is gone, as swiftly as he appeared. I let out a long breath and look at grandfather. He is smiling, a very big smile. He points to the ground. There before us lies a long, soft eagle feather. I feel grandfather's warm, strong hands holding my shoulders as he speaks. Nushin, our people see the eagle as a powerful messenger. His presence is a sign of honor and wisdom. As the great eagle is proud protector of our people, I am a proud Mishomis of my Nushin. And so, I too am proud, just like grandfather.